Hi there, it's Mr. Clark. Welcome to lesson 9.3.3 on analyzing secondary chords. The big principle here is that secondary chords decorate the chords that they tonicize. So when you're doing your basic phrase model, whatever they're decorating, that's the part of the basic phrase model they'll be in. If they're decorating a 4 chord, they'll be part of the predominant. If they're decorating a 5 chord, they'll be part of the dominant. That's the basic idea here. So here, our first example is from William Brady, an Anthem for Christmas. So let's take a listen first. So when we're looking at this, we immediately look at this B natural in measure 2. We see it's a diminished triad, B natural, D, and F. And we would expect it to resolve, thinking B is 7, what is 1, then C would be 1. We would expect it to resolve to some kind of C chord, which in fact it does. So we just have a 7 diminished 6 of 2 leading to 2. That makes sense. Let's see, are there any other accidentals here? Oh, there's a B flat here. Oh, wait, that's just a courtesy. That's in the key signature already, so we don't need to worry about that. When we look at the rest of the Roman numeral analysis, this is straightforward. It's just going back and forth between 1 and 5. The next, we have a 4, 1, 4, and then going to 2. Then you have a 5, potential 6, 4 thing going on, and resolving to 1. So tonic, predominant, dominant, tonic. That's pretty straightforward. So one other chord I do want to look at is this second chord in measure 2. In the first bar, we have a 1 going to a 5, 6, 5 and back to 1. Here we have a 4, 6 going to and back to 4. So it's a similar sort of neighbor chord, passing chord figure here. You could, if you wanted to, analyze this as 5, 6 of 4. That's another way to hear it. You have a 1 going to a 1. Here you have a 4 going to a 5 of 4, going back to 4. So if you wanted to draw the parallel between those two short progressions, then you would analyze it this way. If you don't really care, these are both completely valid ways to analyze things. So, in addition to tonicizing individual chords, you can also have these secondary chords functioning in other ways. So the first way we're going to look at is extended tonicization. So here's a passage that should be familiar from Stars and Stripes Forever. Sorry, one more time. And then, okay. So, let's look at our first phrase. We have standard secondary dominant. We have G, B, D, and I think there's an F in there as well. Clearly, this first chord was not correct. I fixed it. So you have a 5, 4, 3 of 6 going to 6. You have a 5, 4, 3 of 5 going to 5. Okay, those are both straightforward. And then here, we have a G. So that's, again, our 5 chord in the key of C minor, in the key of 6. And then you go to a 1 in C minor, and a 1, 6 in C minor, and then back to a 5 in C minor. So this is what's referred to as an extended tonicization, where we spend a while just kind of living in this new key of C minor. If the music continued on after this in C minor, we would call it a modulation, which again we'll look at more in Unit 10, but for now, because the music does continue on in E flat afterwards, it's just an extended tonicization, and you could go through and write 5, 6, 4 of 6, 1 of 6, 1, 6 of 6, 5 of 6. You can also just bracket it all and write 6 underneath. And that's what we did here. You can also use secondary chords as forward momentum. So this example of this setting of Auld Lang Syne is mostly diatonic. Start off 5, 1, 6, 2, 3, 6. And on a 4, but the phrase keeps going because you can't end the phrase on a predominant. You could just repeat the 4 and then go on, but this arranger has chosen a little more spice. Can't properly reach, but. So in order to keep the phrase moving past this 4 chord that we're sitting on, they've put a secondary dominant of the chord it's resolving to, so that you have that forward momentum pushing forwards, being like, yeah, this really isn't a King's. We gotta keep going, all the way to the end of the actual phrase. The last thing I want to take a look at is irregular resolution. Oh, shoot. Wait. It's still running? Yeah, we're still running. I thought it stopped running. Okay, we're good. So last thing I want to take a look at is irregular resolutions. So just like your regular 5 chord can resolve deceptively, so can your secondary 5 chords. So here's an example from Bach, the end of his Prelude in C major, where just kind of sitting on a cadential 6/4. It's come down to a 5/7, and we expect it to go to 1. Yeah. Oh wait, he turned the 1 chord into a 5/7 and 4 chord by adding that dominant 7. That goes to a regular 4 chord. And then we have a 5/7 chord over a pedal C. And we finally resolve in 1. In a 1 chord. The big thing here is that we expect this 5/7 chord to resolve to 1 immediately. But instead, he adds the B flat. We would expect to see E, G tonic. He adds the B flat to make it a 5/7 to 4. And he extends the phrase for a couple more bars that way. You can also have some unusual resolutions. So here we have a song by Schumann. So we're in C, with a 5/7 of 6, and we expect it to go here, but it doesn't do that. It goes here, it goes to 4 instead. So what's Schumann doing? Why are we resolving it improperly? Well, if you think about an E major chord, we expect it to resolve to A minor, 5/7, 2, 1. Where else can 5/7 go? It can go to a 6, or in this case, since we're a minor, a flat 6. And if you think in the key of A minor, what's flat 6? Well, it's exactly your F major triad that we get here. So in our overall key of C, this is actually a 4 chord, but what's really going on here is we have a deceptive resolution, 5/7 to flat 6, in the key of 6. So that's what's going on there. Something else to watch out for. That's all I wanted to say about this. So go forth and analyze some examples of your own. I'll see you next time.